Yeah, I'm looking at an Ulti Brilliant Fusion that is $90 right now, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, who's really paying this right now? Because I don't know, $90, I'm so good. Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakuraso here, coming at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch for you guys today. Bring you guys quite a few buyouts today because a lot of support has been announced for Gem Knights, Sky Strikers, and we have a few more buyouts and interesting cards to look at. Make sure to smash that like button. The goal is going to be 75 likes, so if you guys can smash that like button, that'd be great. Subscribe if you're not already. We're about 2,100-ish subscribers. The goal is 3,500 for the end of the year, but our second goal is like 3,000. So hopefully we're able to hit that. Also, if you guys want me to go over any cards in my next Mark Watch, let me know in the comment section below. I always love going through suggestions. I actually opened up my community tab within 4 or 5 hours, and there was quite a few suggestions there actually, which I actually enjoyed. So maybe I'll start doing that more often for Mark Watch and all that. Also, thank you to all my YouTube channel members, and if you guys feel like it, consider being a YouTube channel member. Perks are pretty cool. So we're going to get right into it. So Brilliant Fusion is banned. Obviously, this was actually a preemptive hit for the Hulk engine, Hulk coming, which really sucked because this helped so many decks out, especially because I played plants. And Brilliant Fusion was just like such a godsend of a card because you basically it lets you do whatever you want, but get the plant link, the Romage link for free, and it was just awesome, right? I truly miss this card. $90 for an ulti, going up to 105. Now it's not too terrible for an extremely old band ulti. I know that I'm old enough to realize, and I have enough experience to know that when a card is banned, it's gonna have more value than when it's legal, because people are gonna anticipate a buyout, or it's guaranteed not to get another printing. You guys get the point. Uh, Unless it gets unbanned. Now, secret rares here. I actually want to go over these. So you have a mod play, two mod plays for $249, which isn't terrible. Nearmints are $5. If you really think this card's gonna come back, and you're like realistically thinking to yourself, hey, let me rather be safe than sorry. Don't spend $90 on ulti. Just get a secret for $5. I mean, it looks pretty awesome. Relentless Revenge copies are a little hard to find. I have my personal secrets. If you really don't care, and I mean you really don't care, you have First Ed OGs at 90 cents here, right? And that's not too bad for an OG super rare. Could be a lot worse. I definitely will say that this card was meant for high rarity. Like, I've seen how the ulti looks and how the secret looks. They're gorgeous, all right? Beautiful cards that besides the Ultimate Era, because back when this card got banned, I wasn't doing market watching. I knew about the market, but I thought it would go down further, and I made the mistake not picking up at 30, 35. I thought it was going to go down to 20. Went back up to like 50, 60, and I was like, I can use that money to vend. Then we have the other Gem Knight cards, Brilliant Diamond. Now, this card never got a reprint. It's just a normal Ultra. First eds are $40. I'm going to tell you guys I'm surprised, but I'm just lying at this point. It's actually really funny how Gem Knights didn't have that many reprints actually in Hidden Arsenal. Or maybe they did, because I didn't really look at Chapter 1, to be honest with you, like, too well. Because it was just so much garbage. I was like, oh, yeah, this is all the bad stuff. You guys remember if you watch my Yu-Gi-Oh! News videos about that, which, by the way, my OTS 19 announcement got almost 1,000 views, which is awesome. But yeah, this card's really good in the deck because, it foolishes, special summons a fusion from the extra deck as well. This card's really good. Like, this is probably one of the best fusions they have. Solo printing out of Clash Rebellions. I understand why it's $40. Now, Gem Knight, Seraphinite. Now, I told people to get these back when Brilliant Fusion Ultimate Rares went up, because this will always be played, because this is what you get. This is how you get the extra normal summon, essentially. So, all you need to do is not draw the one Garnet, and, you're good. So, you do an additional normal summon, and then you could, like, link off or whatever. DTs right now, near mids are about $8. Lightly plays are like 6s. I remember looking over this at $1 and be like, wow, it dropped that hard for a card that could be abusable as an extra normal summon. That's whack. And I ended up getting my couple of copies, so hopefully you guys did. In fact, while I'm here, there's actually another card that we need to go over after this Gem Knight stuff. So Master Diamond Secret Rare. A lot of people said this was the better hit for Gem Knights, personally, but lightly played, you got unlimited 20 here for 250. So if you just want to play it, you got that right there. First light plays are about $3 to $4 here. Near mids are gonna run you about, $7 to $10. Yeah, just get the lightly played of these personally. But I think Gem Knights are gonna cool down, honestly. You have DTs here at about 13, 15. Yeah, so if you want to get a DT for $15, it's not awful. Now, Crib-on's here, dual terminal. Now, I told people to get these at $1 or $2, because they are about to go up eventually, right? And with older formats getting more popular, there was like a huge wall. There was like 80 something of these. Now that huge wall, and I've noticed this recently, is gone. Like, you have 2 lightly plates here for $2, and they finally go up to $4, $5, going up to $9. Like, the wall here is about 6 copies. You know, that's not too bad. You know, you got a no-name seller there. You got like 3 copies on the front page before it goes to $4.39, plus like 70-cent shipping. That's not too bad for a DT Crib-ons. So if you got a bunch of these when I told you, well, you waited long enough. I think you're about to see some love quite soon. Shaddoll Chichinoguin. Now, this was very weird because 2 people recommended me this, actually. They said, is this a good buy because it's crashing, right? Now, if you guys don't know what this does, during either player's turn, as long as a special summon monster activates its effect, while you have a Shaddoll card in hand, you know, you send it to graveyard and, you know, you negate the activation and destroy it, right? So it's kind of like in a way, like a Solemn Strike. I mean, it's just a basic interrupt. It's pretty good. It's got a huge booty of 3,000 defense as well. 2,600 attack. It's not bad in regular Shaddolls. The issue is it's not really splashable in the other Shaddoll strategies. Like, if you're playing it with Dogmatica, this, that, it's really not that great. I mean, honestly, if Earth Machine or other decks were really good, I think this could be decently used as a super poly target. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad card if you're playing, like, my issue with Shaddolls right now as someone who loves Shaddolls is that I actually love pure Shaddolls, believe it or not. It's obviously one of the worst ways to play it, but that's how I grew up with playing Shaddolls, and you played like awesome spice, like Mathematicians and all that, right? So I keep thinking this card's good because I'm like, my head is in a different area of Yu-Gi-Oh! And with older players, that kind of happens. That's why people are like, yeah, that sounds really unique, but this, there's a lot of simpler and better ways to run, Shaddolls or whatever, right? Lightly plates are 16 here. First set lightly plates, which is, you might as well get the first set stamp here. $18, not bad. Near mints, are they going to be maybe 20 here? Maybe? First set near mint, with the shipping, $20. After that, they're about $23, $24. Now, obviously, Shaddolls are very hyped up, and I think almost every Shaddoll fusion could come into some sort of play eventually if the format is right. Besides probably the win one, unless we get something super. Yeah, except really besides the win one. So this is not a bad card to pick up right now for $20 because, again, it is definitely going lower and lower here. The hype's definitely died down from it with 47 listings, but I would say if you're, if you're struggling a little bit and you're like, should I get this and another card? I think you could wait for Shaddoll Chichinoguin because it could keep dropping further, seeing, this really steady decline here. Like, I would be okay as a Shaddoll player and as a collector to get this for $19, $20 for a first set near mint. I would be very, very happy, right? Especially because it's a lot cheaper than before. But as someone who likes to conserve their money and make the better choices, this could drop. First set near mints could go about 18, 17, something like that. I wouldn't really take the chance. However, if you're looking at the market trying to buy something else and you're like, this could go up next week or whatever, I would put Shaddoll Chichinoguin a little bit on the back burner and focus on other things you want to buy in the market first, right? I just won't put it as a high priority, essentially. Now, Sky Striker's got a new card, and everybody is bitching, except for me. Okay, just kidding. A lot of people are ecstatic, and a lot of people hate it, right? Sky Striker's is a deck that's, like, in the middle 50-50, but I find it so funny how players hate Sky Striker when it's, like, would you rather play against Eldritch, Brave, DP, pile decks? I don't call this a pile format, okay? You see the same engines run, and then there's like one thing different, right? That's really it. I don't really think. I mean, yes, it's technically a pile format, but I just don't think it's that much. Now, Sky Striker's way easier to play than a deck with like 3 skill drain, all that. I have no idea why people cry about this, but we're gonna go over all of them here. So. Ace right over here, 275 going up to okay, that no one's gonna pay that. But these are going up as you see over here, and you have to remember Ignition Assault is like a 2-year-old set at this point, and these were always like 300. I feel like if you want to grab a Starlight Rare, you need 9 listings. Okay, that just happened. You guys saw how it had 10 listings here. We're gonna refresh here. And I just want to see. Okay, I don't know who bought from who, but 9 listings now. Okay, that's crazy. Ulti Kagari's bought out yet again. Let's see how much these are going to be now. 250 going up to 300. That's nuts. I can't. I'll be honest. I can't. I feel like Ulti Sky Strikers are going to hit this like moon. And I feel like I'm at the point where, like, because I don't have a full playset of Kagari, and I don't have a full playset of Shizuku, which these are, I told people at 100, 20 or something, you should be getting your ulti Shizukus. 200, 250 now. So, yeah. Hayates, okay, 16 listings here. Alright, near mints are 55. Okay. One here for 55, let's just say. Then 65, 70. Hayate, I'm waiting for this to go up to the moon. Because what I'm going to probably do is I don't actually have a full playset of Kagari. I believe I have 1 or 2. And then I think I have 1 or 2 Shizukus, right? I want to get them for my personal collection. I really like them, right? And honestly, I'm cool with playing 1 ulti and then like a secret, personally, for the extra deck. It's unfortunate, but I definitely got my Hayates because I told you guys to grab them. And right now, this is probably one of your last opportunities to grab ulti Hayate. You guys see these 2 ultis going to the moon, 200 plus. You guys think this is going to struggle to hit 100, 120? Especially if strikers are good enough for this to be 3 of? Yeah. Kainas are, I don't know why, because this is also played in pure Sky Striker only. You would never play this in like an engine. Whereas Hayate, you could play in an engine. 15 bucks. Or not 15, that's what it was. $10 to $15. Now they're 45. I don't know what this is. Mecha Widow Anchors here are about, let's see, 25 for near mint. Okay, first editions though. That's what we're trying to look at right here. About 26.50, 28. Okay, that's not bad for a Dark Savior's Widow Anchor. Now this card definitely needs another reprint. Same with a bunch of Sky Striker cards in general, honestly. Token here is these were like 13s last time we checked. Near mints are about 14 bucks right now, so not too terrible. Let's see what else we have here for Sky Striker buyouts here. We don't now the rumor is that it special summons itself essentially, and you're able to like dump a SS that you won't be able to. That's not in your graveyard, So if you don't have an engage, you could dump an engage. So it makes like Hayate a little less relevant, but that's just leaks, right? Secret Rares. Now this card always was money, especially because it was short print, and this was a card that was very hard to get acquired for such a cheaper card. Like, it wasn't a lot of money, right? People could spend, like, this was about $5 or $10 to get this card, but it was, even though it was short print, like I believe it was always hard to get, even when like Striker wasn't being played. It was always like, are these really $5 to $10 I have to pay for this? Well, whatever. But yeah, 15 for near mint here. You got afterburns here. Like, everything else seems like pretty normal here. Zeke has had a reprint and a printing in a while, $7, $8 on that. You guys remember when this was 50 cents? Because I do. Peppermint Farms remembers. Albaz Ultras are $8. Now, Secret Rares, let's see how much these are. First Ed Light plays are about 30 bucks here. Okay, cool. Near mints are 34. Now, you guys know that's one of my favorite looking cards in the game, honestly, especially of this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Since we have the ulti, how is this going to switch up the secret prices, some may be asking? Well, here's what I think. I think that secrets are going to go down because this is not a 3 of in the deck. I believe you play 2 copies max, from what I know. And, because it's so searchable, you can special them from the extra deck, and that's way better than drawing it. So, you kind of want to make sure that, you play as less copies. Because why play 3 copies and have a better chance to draw this when you can play 2 copies and special it from the deck, right? Obviously, that's much better here. And I'm sorry if I'm going off camera here. It's just, I'm making sure this cat is okay. Yeah, but yeah, Fallen of Albaz here. Probably secrets are going to drop because a lot of people are going to have ultis, and a lot of people are going to want to get rid of their ultis because they're not going to be playing the deck. So, if you're looking to get ultimate rares, I feel like they're going to be after 2 or 3 weeks of the OTS coming out, right? So, once OTS hits stores, about 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, let's say 3, they're going to be 100 max, in my opinion. So, if you're looking for ultis, don't worry. If you're looking for secrets, I don't know. I mean, they're not too much cheaper. I feel like, the ulti decision really didn't affect this price point as much. Because a lot of people just simply put do not know. You guys remember when I talked about this? I think this was like 50 bucks for a light player near mint. Well, right now, lightly playeds are about 40 bucks, 48 here. Really good for a PCK, right? But near mints are 78 and then 85, then 95, 115, 128, right? And that's for near mints here. Now, I talked about PCK Blue Eyes being a very good Blue Eyes again because its secret foiling is a lot different than normal secret foiling we used to get, especially back then. Game promos had different foiling, and it's really unique to collectors. And obviously, this is Blue Eyes Red Dragon. And while I hate tablet art, this is the only one I tolerate because the foiling complements it. Only one, right? And a lot of players look at this version, or a lot of collectors being like, oh, well, I should get this one. The issue is Power of Chaos, kind of the revenge for this promo card, wasn't that difficult to get. So everyone who had theirs 10 years ago, right? A whole decade. And this was like 10, 15 bucks. I would be getting your lightly plates and I would be stacking up on this. Don't buy every dumb Blue Eyes that comes out, every reprint set, all right? And every reprint set. I mean, we've gotten in El Dorado, Maximum Gold, you know, both golds. We got in the Hidden Arsenal. We got in something, I think we got in Ghost of the Past. We got Blue Eyes card. They're shoving DM stuff down our throats like crazy. Get what is rare, not what the flavor of the week is. Skull Dice here. I haven't looked at this in a while, actually. These went to the moon here. I mean, okay, lightly played 18. Near mints there's one for 40 bucks because of that $5 shipping. Yeah. This card went to the moon. I have a damaged one, believe it or not. Eternal Duelist Soul. This isn't a terrible one either. $2 for lightly playeds. Near mints are like $4.55, going up to $7. If you guys want to grab the light plates here to make sure that you have this copy, or this card, it's not a bad idea. Now, Graceful Dice right over here. You know, the other one, these are bought out. You have just 2 damage. And a lightly plate sold for $50. No, thank you. Yeah, no offense, but I do not like these cards that much. Like, they were cool. They were very cool in the anime, but, you know. Alpha, the Master of Beasts here, Secret Rares. These are about $8.30, $8.50. Now, this was a hand trap, aka staple, that didn't really pop off as much as people wanted them to, and that's fine because, you know, this card overall, while not bad, it's basically its strong suit is that when it's searchable. Like, Melfi's actually play this card because basically it's a 3K beater that helps bounce a bunch of stuff, right? And it's searchable, right? They're able to use Alpha as the most easy, accessible boss monster ever, right? So Melfi's play this card. Amazing. You would never cut this card because it's too generic to be cut. But you can't play this in, say, any other regular deck. Like, you can't play this in Dry... Well, you could play it in Drytron, all that stuff if you like, want to side it in. And stuff, so it's not that bad. It helps bounce this card and another card, and then you could special summon this again. But its strength is in beast archetypes, right? If you want to grab a secret for $8, it's not bad. And the reason why I'm saying it's also not bad is because I look at the ultras here, right? And seeing an OG secret rare that's something that's supposed to be generic at $8 is really cheap for me. This means the card did not take off, which, no offense, but it did, right? It's a good card. It just didn't take off because it just wasn't, frankly, good enough, right? But when I look at the ultras here, I'm expecting something like, remember how Moonlit Chill is a $15 secret, or roughly $20 secret? The ultras came out and then they dropped to like $1 each, right? Well, ultras here are like $2.40, right? $2.50. And these are selling like hotcakes. And it makes me wonder, people still have faith in this card to this day. I will say this, I actually really like how the nails look in the Ultra compared to the Secret Rare. I don't know why either. It's very weird. I like the Secret Rare more, but like the claws on the Ultra look better. Should you be stocking up on these? I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, it's a gamble. That's all I'm gonna really tell you. I can't say here for sure if it's a good pickup per se or not. But if you want to get a playset, I don't see it dropping too much. But again, you know, you have everybody trying to undercut each other by 6, 7 cents, 30 cents here. This is kind of how it starts trending down, you know. And this card over a 6-month period You know, it dropped to about $8, $7, $8 for a while now. So I don't think it's going anywhere. Now, Kaiba Secret Rare from Dark Revelations Volume 4. Also, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys should be getting on that. Especially because I had a horrible day. Not gonna lie. Uh, Yesterday was pretty terrible. And it's one of those days where I'm gonna probably remember it for the rest of my life, if not quite a while. And I'll talk about it maybe at a later date if I feel like it. I probably don't, to be honest with you here. Believe it or not, Team Sakurasa likes to have a little privacy. I know, shocking. But I had to make sure people were okay. And, you know, I was already having a really bad day. That's the worst part when something happened. You know, you guys ever have that day where it's like, wow, this day sucks, but, you know, I'll talk through, you know, next day will be better. And then one of the worst things that's probably like in a year, probably the worst thing of that year that's gonna happen. Like you look back at say 2022, you're like, yep, that day was the worst. Yeah, that happened to me. So, not really too happy and ecstatic right now, but is what it is. Secret rares are 138 for lightly played, 139. That's not too bad here for secret rares. I know that DRV, it's very inflated, hard to come by, but this is selling, you know, near mint 106, 215, light play for 68 right here. You know, but the near mint had a picture here. Yeah, it's English. Okay, that's good. I don't If you're a collector and you want it, that's just what you're paying. Well, Kaiba Man from World Championship 2005, 7 Trials of Glory here is to save those collectors that don't want to spend $100 and get a really nice version of Kaiba Man that's also kind of rare. Lightly played art, this is the cheapest I've ever seen it. I'll be honest, this is criminal. I feel like a lot of people are just offloading these because they'd rather just put it up there. You know, stores don't care. You know, just put up a 50-cent star card. Be happy. You know, I can't believe. And if we put the filters here, lightly played to near mints here, you know, you have a page here where no one has a second copy even. And then you go to the next page and, you know, $2 here. This is a card that could get bought out any second. Personally, this is something that's very worth investing into. Now, Marincess stuff. So let me go over these really quickly. Starlight Seahorses, believe it or not, we, Team Sakurazo here, Team Sakurazo, Jake, pulled the first ever Starlight Rare. And by the way, they were not called Starlight Rares during Rising Rampage. We didn't have that official term yet, so people were calling it Prismatic, believe it or not. We pulled the first ever Starlight Rare on YouTube, and we looked it up that day. No one else could find it or have it right. We even popped up in Google, and it was Marincess Seahorse, so I kind of like this card. You know, I'm not going to lie, just because of the memories I had. It was like in the first pack, which was really weird, but yeah, it was awesome. Corals here. Now, I told people to get these at 4 5s. For first eds. First eds are now 12. Remember, you know, you make this with 2 waters, you target a water monster or graveyard, you special summon it, right, to the zone. So it helps you link climb. And if the card is a soft once per turn, or something that's even more generic, you know, you're really popping off, right? This enables a lot of water combos, right? If it sets a field to the graveyard, you can target Marincess card in the graveyard, except this one, sadly, adds to your hand. So really good in Marincess as well, but, you know, it's just a good rate card overall. You got tanks here at like 30 listings here. $7, $8 here. That's, I mean, if you really like this deck, you want to play the higher rarity. I mean, $24 for a playset is what it is. At least Chaos Impact is getting a little bit of value now. Ultra rares are about $4. Wow. I said this was a pretty good penny stock at like $1 as well. Marincess Waves originals are about $3. Pascalis, yeah, Pascalis here, $2 here. Now, this is just a super rare, so when people want to start playing Marincess, they all have to come here and get the Ignition Assault super rares, and this is a 3 if I remember correctly. $3 for original ultras, $1.65 for marbled rock. These are finally hitting $1. I said, hey, at a quarter, they're not too bad. If you want to at least get a couple copies, well, they're $1 now, so you know, when you get stuff at a quarter and you get like a bulk amount and you just sit on it, sometimes you could just wake up with some decent money. Blue slugs are about 2s here. You got the rares at $1, so if you have those in bulk, super great bubble read from Echo, $1. You know, and everything else. I mean, you have the super rares at 20 cents. You could really play this deck very budgetly if you really want to be honest with you here. Especially with Silent Mining, having a reprint like this core You could, if you want the cheapest core available, I don't think you have to spend $20 on it. Now, in today's news for stupidity, Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman Dual Terminal. You have one here for $5.30. Well, let's refresh. Make sure this isn't stupid here. Yeah, $5.39 and then $10. Did you guys know you could get the original DT lightly plates for the same price? Much better to grab these. Like, the fact that people are paying this amount, I just can't think to themselves that, especially because they don't have the VUL version here. I feel like that hurts. Along with, they have the dual terminal thing here, right? The thing is when you go over here, right? It's just, it has a set, it's just like dual terminal. So I think people are just assuming that this is the DT one. And I think there's a lot of, there's some confusion when it comes to chapter 1, right? Especially because they have like the OG ones, is like rares here, you know, all that. But do not be fooled, okay? Get these, okay? Do not get these, all right? Skill Drain, Lost Art stuff. These have been dropping. They're about $45 now. I ended up picking one up for $45 off a friend, and I ended up, you know, paying basically a normal player price because I didn't want the vend. I just wanted mine for my personal collection back. And he had sealed, and it was really nice, and I was surprised to see this drop, honestly. Now, obviously, we have the reprint of Skill Drain. However, this is the Lost Art version, right? This is the version that players are going to prefer, even over the higher rarity, which is the Turbo Pack Ultra Rare, which I'm going to show you guys over here. Is about 78 for light play, near it's about 81, 82. I actually have this version as well. What's really funny is I actually ended up getting rid of mine because they were just way too much, and a guy ended up I ended up getting this for like 50. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'll, you know, whatever, right? I had this tip for you guys where it's called cycling out cards, and you guys might be thinking what that is, so I'm just going to explain that. It's just a quick tip for you guys that are competitive players. If you know that, like, for example, Skill Drain, when it got unbanned, and you know you don't need to use your Skill Drains for, like, say, a week or two, you could sell your Skill Drains, like, let's say when when these were, like, 135. Let's pretend you just had a playset, right? You just like the card you got, right? Well, now, you know, you sell, you know, it's $390, maybe you sell the playset for $350, right? Well, a couple weeks later, you could get near mints for 82, right? If yours were a bit LP or VLP, it's really nice because you could get maybe some fresher near mint copies. But the playset's $240 full price, right? So even if you went to TCG Player with your $350 that you sold it for, you know, and you're like, I want this card back. Well, guess what? You made $110, and what did you really do to get that $110? Well, if you sold it online, you didn't really do too much work. Maybe you went to the post office, whatever, right? $110 of profit, right? Cycling cards out when they're really hyped out and getting them later. That's what I do with my personal copies as well. Usually, not Medolce. I'll never do it with Medolce, and like certain cards. But for the most part, it's just a tip I like to do. But you gotta be a little careful doing it, and it could backtrack on you. Forbidden Droplets here, Rise of the Duels here. Just give us a reprint. That's all. We really need this, like, accessible. And this is a thing that I really enjoyed back in my day. I don't care if people make fun of me about this. Back in Zexal era. Now, this happened in 5D's era. This is where it started. But Zexal carried on this tradition. And I think that Zexal had more of an impact with their reprints in the tins that were guaranteed than the 5D's cards that were in the 5D era, where our tins had guaranteed cards. Like, yeah, we got the signer cards. That was really cool. And, you know, Stardust was nice because every player could have access to that. But for the most part, it wasn't that good because in Zexal, we had cards like Pod Duality was $100. We get a reprint from a tin. It's a couple bucks, but you pay $20, you get your one duality. So if you pay $60, you get your playset duality. You get some decent, pretty much relevant packs as well. And, you know, you get a few other promos that could be good, could not be, right? Usually there was always at least one banger promo, right? I feel like that tradition should have, you know, or that way of marketing a product should have kept going. Because it would just be beneficial for the game. And again, they would always do it in a lower rarity. Like, you never see, like, how nowadays with Rise of Duels, they're going to give us the same exact rarity that's harder to pull. This is so stupid in my opinion. You shouldn't be ordering this copy when you could pay $5, $10 for, you know, maybe $15 more for an original. And I've said this multiple times, right? But back then, you could pay $50 for super dualities. Yes, they didn't look as good as Secret, but you had access to the card. And you have to spend, you know, basically, you know, part of your rent check for a playset of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? you spent your $15 and you were good. And I kind of wish that we brought back some guaranteed reprints sometimes. I think that would really help the what's called the market, especially because and just the player base overall would really appreciate it. Especially with cards that are like always gonna see value here and there. Like if we had, like for example, I think Ash Blossom had a guaranteed, right? And dude, right? And look what happened. It's still like, and we'll get to Ash, and I'll talk more about that here. Like look at Ash right here. Supers 29s. Gold rares 32. 33, 31, and then $27 from Rux in here. Now, this was a guaranteed card when you got your Dual Devastator. Guaranteed. Okay? So, you spend your $40, you get a bunch of staples. This was and it was $5, $6, right? People thought this would kill the value. And look now, imagine the value of Ash if everyone who bought dudes or had dudes couldn't, and they had to get the commons, they had to get the ultra rares, stuff like that. We probably would be seeing Ash as a staple card instead of supers and ultras being 30 and golds being 30, 32. We'd probably see them around $55, $50. We're going to take a look at OG Secret Rares here, actually. And I hope everyone understands what I was trying to articulate right there. $75 for near mints here. First edition, light play, $90. Near mints here are 120, 130, going up to 200. Cards getting bought out. Am I shocked? Absolutely not. I told people to get them at 30s. Evenly matched here. Goes to the past. $24. I remember when this card was $10. I told people to grab it. If you did, you made your money back. Hopefully, I would be surprised if they put in Goes to the Past too, because Kodai sometimes will be like, oh, whatever. They'll get a sequel of something of some sort, and they'll put the exact same cards in. It's crazy how they do that, but it works. Secret Rares, $35. First editions are, let's see here. Lightly plates are $40. Near mints are $45. I'm so glad that I was able to get my first set secrets for a decent price. Now I have my secrets, and I was able to sell my ultra rare, so I didn't have to spend too much overall for an upgrade, which I was really happy about. Ecclesia the Virtuous here is about $52 here, going up to about, okay, that's $1.16 shipping. A little odd, but let's just call it $1 here. That's about 56 here. Let's just go verified. This is the only card where I have to click verified. It's hilarious to me. But these are basically almost $60, but they're still struggling to get there. And I don't know what's supposed to push them to the edge. And the last card we have today is ALUBER. Hey, Tony, your boy was right. 100 Buccarinos. And they're selling for 100. I told you guys this would happen if you got your jesters at 30, 40 bucks. And I told you guys to try to grab at least 6. Well, $60, because that's a profit margin, times 6. What is that? $360. $360. And guess what? You didn't really have to work for it. And this is if you paid full price for it, by the way. If you knew people at locals or you had them already, boom. I'm at the point where I'm looking at Dawn of Majesty because they had the Starlight Stardust. I know it's not realistic to pull this, but you have your Starlights here. $58 and you have a $20, 20, 10, 7, 8, 5 for the ultras rares here. 6s for these. 3s for Shooting Majestic. Branded openings are $3. I keep an eye on the value of this box. If you guys don't have Dawn of Majesty's boxes that you can hold on to right now, I would definitely move on and try to grab your, where are they here? Your sealed boxes as soon as you can. Well, that's the Market Watch, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you guys did, and subscribe. Thank you to all my YouTube channel members for supporting me. We're going to have a live stream this week. I just don't know when. Again, life happened. I had to push it back, guys. Sorry about that. But I'll be getting that to you guys eventually, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.